What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Granny's Peach Tea. And I promise you, one of these things that are happy coincidence that were not planned, episode 204. For those who are counting, yes, episode 204. Look at that, Jason. 204.
It always works out in our favor.
Yes. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening. You can join us on the Facebook live stream. I know there are some technical difficulties at the moment, but if you join us on YouTube or wherever you found your audio-only podcast, we always appreciate the support. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, 204 episodes in, we are getting the Fantastic Four reboot is what we're going to be talking about this evening. The Fantastic Four First Steps, which is blowing up the movie theaters right now. It's wild. It's making all the money at the moment, and people are excited.
And Ed, I have a serious question because the first right after the first Marvel thing we did, right after we did the DC Snyderverse, was the Fantastic Four. This is kind of where the show started, and I don't know. Is this a secret last episode? I asked you this the other day in text. Are we ending the show and you just haven't told me? Because this is full circle.
There are signs support to this, and it wasn't planned, I can promise. We're covering Superman and Fantastic Four. Somebody popped it on Ironheart, and here we are. So I don't know.
There are omens. I've been reading the tea and the stars. It's crazy.
It is wild. But yes, thanks for joining us. And if you do follow us, you will notice Jason has not been with us in a couple of weeks, but he is back from his, as I've been describing it, the Street Fighter World Tour. He has taken on Sagat and E Honda and Ryu and everything. He's beaten them all. He is now the champion of the World Warrior Tournament.
That's right. And all I have to say is, nah.
Oh my God.
As you would.
But what's up, man? We also have Jenny backstage too. We'll be bringing her in a second. But Jason, how was your trip? How was everything?
Trip was good. I was in Asia for a little while. I got to see the Great Wall of China, the Terracotta Warriors. I tried to get a Terracotta Warrior on the show, but they couldn't do it. They had prior engagements. But no, yeah. So we saw two water towns. I've always wanted to go to Venice, but I've never been. And when we were in this small water town in Beijing, I think it was, I asked my wife who has been to Venice. I'm like, is this what Venice is like? She's like, it's exactly. And I'm like, all right, knocking that off the list. And technically, that's what I wanted to know is how it felt to be in a water town.
All right. I've not been to Venice. I went to Italy on my Angie and I went for our honeymoon, but no, we were in Florence and Rome, and I can't remember.
I've never been to Rome. I gotta go to Rome.
Yes, I was. See, while you were completing the World Warrior Tournament, I was going ahead and I was, trying to defeat tigers and stuff like that in the Roman Colosseum. So that was my mission over there. Facebook's still having some issues. So, we have. I mean, we're trying to make sure we get to everything that we can. But we do have our special guest. She's Granny's Peach Tea also. Well, let's be honest. She's done enough episodes now. It's there. Jenny, what's up?
Hi.
What's going on?
Good. Just Jason, your son just left my house. It was a great time.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. My wife's on her way home.
Exactly.
I left Jenny's house to come home so I could set up and get ready for this. That's where I was.
Listen, you guys should have just set up 2 chairs and you could have just did the show.
We should have. I thought about that.
Yeah.
It's true.
It would be fun. But,
I'm good. I'm excited. Hey guys, thank you.
Yeah. Tim may or may not be joining us. So Rick was not able to join us. We were going to have 4.
Tim's on call.
Tim is on his other show, which I was just guesting on and had to hop over here because I'm like, oh, I need to go talk about Fantastic Four. Let's stop talking about this other stuff. I have to go. I will see you later.
Let's stop talking about Hulk Hogan.
Yes, it was just.
Yes, please. No.
We had to discuss, so we discussed, and it is what it is. But Jason, you do have some stuff to discuss that Superman and Ironheart, because there were big things that happened. So give us your quick thoughts. Ginny and I, we talked about Superman. So what's
and
up?
Ironheart.
Yeah. So all right,
Ironheart. We did, yeah.
I haven't watched the episode, so I gleaned from my conversations with you both who liked Superman, but I don't know what you guys said on the show. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I did watch it. I have to re-see it, as I told both of you. Because I came back on like Monday and I was seeing it Tuesday night, so I did nod off at times not because I didn't like the movie, but because I was jet lagged as shit. But it was great. It was a lot of fun. I liked your best friend Ginny. I thought he did a great job as Superman and Clark Kent. He really pulls the double role. I think it addressed a lot of issues I've always had with Superman. Like, if you're gonna have Lex Luthor be in it, make him Superman's actual enemy and not just a guy broker and land deals. Bang, that's what we get here. I like how they explored the universe, like the Justice Gang, which I fucking loved. The only reason that Wonder Man wasn't it wasn't the Wonder Man or Ultra, what was the guy's name?
Ultraman.
Mr. Terrific? Oh, okay. The only reason he wasn't my favorite was because Nathan Fillion is in one of the other roles, and I mean, he's just a god himself. But they were fantastic. Yeah, I love this movie. I have nothing. I have nothing negative to say. I do need to see it again because I did brown out at parts, and I do want to see what I missed. But I think overall it was a great experience.
Okay.
No more Frank Grillo for you though. I think we all agree every DC movie should have Frank Grillo.
He should be the Nick Fury of the.
I think so. I want that. I want that.
I wouldn't hate that. I liked Frank Grillo. He thought he was great. I could take more of him. I know we're going to get more of him at some point.
I mean, he hasn't been the only character to appear in all 3 DCU projects so far.
Gosh, I want I want live action Commandos so bad.
That would be sick.
I just want that.
I do too. That would be awesome.
All right.
If
So
I
was
had
there
to,
anything you didn't like about Superman?
If I have to ding it for things, and these are minor things, and probably aren't even the fault of the movie, but the first 15 minutes of the movie is essentially one of the extended trailers. So the fact that was the first thing I saw, I was like, I've sat through this a bunch, but I'm actually in this movie now. I should be excited, but I've sat through this a bunch. So that was just a weird start for me. But again, that has nothing to do with the movie. That was more of what they chose to do with the trailers. I think Hawk Girl could have had a bit more to do. I thought she was a good character that they could have explored a bit more. And I don't know how you guys felt about the Kents. I felt they were a bit too folksy, like down home folksy. Like, I don't know how to use this here technology, son. Like,
all right.
I know they
my in-laws are like that though.
I'm gonna interject in this one.
All
right, so I'm gonna interject in this one briefly. I actually love the way that they were portrayed because of this. Angie is from Missouri, which is right next to Kansas. And because if I said she was because she's from Kansas City, but Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas, because if I made that mistake, she would probably magically appear from the concert she's at and probably choke me out on camera. So, but I have been to Kansas City multiple times, and I can firsthand tell you there are plenty, and my in-laws may also even be as such. I can totally see them being Martha and Jonathan Kent in this movie, kind of like doing that, because we have to walk them through streaming constantly. So I will say, I thought it was actually accurate.
right, I'm not.
And why did you say that name?
It's a bit too real.
Why did you say that name?
Martha.
What name? The name.
Oh man, it's good to know we can still somehow keep it
just think
alive
maybe
since we have the name of our show named after a stupid thing from that.
We have to. I think we've earned it. The funniest is when I explain people. I was in the Philippines with family, and I'm explaining to one of my cousin-in-laws about the show. Who's like, we sat there all night talking about shit like this. So like, if there wasn't a time difference, I'd love to try to get him on the show. But we're talking, and I'm like, yeah, I got this podcast. He goes, what's it called? I'm like, Granny's PT, and he just looks at me like, and I'm like, you know that really terrible line in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? Hey, here's piss in a jar. Yeah, good. That's where it's named after.
Mike, it's the grossest line in like cinema history to me.
Which is why
terrible.
I know. I just feel like, why, God?
Yeah.
Why?
We couldn't pass it up once we were trying to name the show.
No. And I think it's because Ed kind of is soft on that movie, and I fucking hate that movie. But I think like that's like the Breakfast at Tiffany's moment from the song for us. It's like, but what about how stupid that Granny's PT line is? Oh yeah, okay, we can agree on that.
It was definitely the self-deprecating. I mean, we have the picture of the piss jar. I mean, as our logo. I mean,
We still put it on.
it's the piss jar. I mean, it is what it is. It is definitely a very self-deprecating nod if you're aware of it. A lot of people just goes way over their heads.
Yeah.
But what's the other? That's not my controversial thing is I like when he says, Martha, why did you say that name? I was in theaters going, that's brilliant. Everyone makes fun of it later. I was like, oh, I'm so dumb. I guess that's I tell it.
I love
the sincerity. I was just like, because I saw
love
that
the sentiment of it.
That's right. The moms both were Martha, and Tom goes, no, that was really dumb. I was like, oh, okay.
The thing was that the idea was there, but it was just the way it was executed was so goofy. In such a serious movie too, and like such a serious thing. Like that's the way they see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Really, it was ridiculous. I mean, it's a joke that will never stop. We will always keep it alive.
No,
Martha nonsense.
The joke that keeps on giving. And even in class, if I have a student named Martha, I'll stop only once. I'll only do it once. But I'll be like, Martha, why did you say that name? And then I'll apologize and say, sorry, I had to say that. I'm under contract.
So you'll say definitely. Is this your Superman now? Because both of us talked about Superman and Lois. Superman was kind of our Superman. Tough one, right? We talked about this. Different Superman.
It is a tough one, and here's what I'm going to say is I think they are two different enough versions of Superman in two very different parts of their life, and it's okay that we don't have to choose, because I really enjoyed the Superman being a dad that we get in the show, right? But I also really enjoyed this Superman, this really naive, like genuinely, like, American Pie kid trying to navigate being a superhero, even in those small moments of like where he tells everyone his secret. And there's that whole moment with Nathan Fillion, like, with the glasses, right? The hypno, and Lois is like, if I didn't know that it was Clark, that this would be a problem. You'd kind of tell him that, like, and then she calls him out on being so naive, and like, so they're two very different characters, and I really enjoyed them both. So I can't choose.
Jason, that's very admirable, because Ginny can probably back me up on this if she recalls. I essentially gave the same response in our last episode because I tied myself.
Did you really?
So I also worked my way of not choosing one because they're so different. But
I just love you guys. Really love Tyler.
They are very different.
That's crazy.
Jenny, but you didn't watch it though, right? If I'm right.
No, but you know what? My theory, I have a dumb theory is that, and it's a very patriot theory. It's like very American. Is that it should be an actor who was supposed to be pro athlete, like so.
Yeah.
Lois Clark.
Dean Cain
was a football was in the NFL and was like he's built like a football player. He's American. Superman, but a great I love him. And Tyler Heckman was pro baseball, was a minor league baseball, and then he had to formally go back into acting after an injury or something. And I go, should our Superman not be Juilliard trained actors like, Christopher Reeves and David Cornsweet, or should they just be like, guys who didn't make it in baseball? And that's very American to me.
Jenny, you should get a side assignment, right? For the next time you come on Granny's Peach Tape, you should watch Superman and Lois. It's only 4 seasons, and they're short. I think you would really like it. I'm going to be honest.
I like that Lois.
It's actually really.
You would love it. You would love it. I honestly think you would absolutely adore it. It's an easy watch because it's 4 seasons. Season 4 is only 10 episodes. And the other ones are like 13 episodes, and there's without the commercials, it's like 40-minute episodes. It's a pretty easy.
I'll watch it with my 5-year-old then. I think she'll.
Yeah, I think you'll come back saying, "Man, now I know what you guys were raving about the whole time."
I love Tyler Hoechlin. I watched Teen Wolf. You guys didn't watch Teen Wolf. I love him.
Okay.
You didn't watch Seventh Heaven. I watched Seventh Heaven.
No, I did not.
He was in Seventh Heaven.
Like he's a baby. Yeah.
I'm the only guy who's in it. Yeah, didn't see that. All right. So Jason, DCEU off on a officially off on a pretty big start.
Yeah.
Creature Commandos and Superman.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Ironheart?
I think
because there's something in there.
Well, this is another reason that I have to ask: are we ending the show?
It's very close to home. No, I'm sorry, Jason. I know we're on a delay. You had something to say with James Gunn.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that James Gunn has officially. I had said that my concern was, we know he can do an ensemble cast. Can he handle just one superhero? And the answer is yes, but doing a very James Gunn thing, and by kind of bringing in an ensemble in the background. But I think that he gave Superman his due. I don't feel the Justice Gang robbed Superman of anything story wise. So James Gunn, he proved that he actually probably is the best person to build a world out of whole cloth for the new DC, because he's really good at this ensemble stuff, and now he's shown us that he can control it. There are levels to it, and he knows he's working on the right fix, the alchemy to it. So yeah, that was what I wanted to say.
That's a great point. I didn't think about that. I love that idea that James Gunn needs multiple characters and personalities to thrive. But I do like that Superman is kind of James Gunny with this speech where, what does Lois say to him, where she's grilling him on the interview, and he's like, yes, but that's very silly. And I was like, he's very goofy, and David Cornsweet can definitely do that. I like that's James Gunn to me in a good way. More of that.
Agreed. So Jason,
and I love. Well, but one more thing I want to say about Superman, and I love that they kind of alter his origin just a little bit, because he comes thinking that he's sent there to protect, and in fact, it's like that secret Brightburn right here.
James Gunn
write that, right?
That was James Gunn dark. That's that was the darkest thing in the movie to me. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
But what I really liked about that was it allowed Superman to shine as the character, because the whole point is, you get to make that choice for yourself. You came here and only hearing half a message filled in the rest based on who you are and who you want to be. And I thought that was really, really well done. And it kind of I think that's James Gunn addressing the people who and I think we might have even said this, well, he did Brightburn, but can he do something with the actual character without making it too dark? And I think this is him going, yeah, I can kind of tease you a bit, but this is still Superman. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's fair. So Ironheart, your thoughts, and that we can get to the big moment that is particularly touched our hearts. Our Iron Hearts.
So
no,
I'm gonna.
That's fair.
Hearts. I'm gonna say this. I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't dislike it. And maybe it's just not for me. This is a character that I just don't know very much about. And I kind of, as much as I thought some of the bad guy characters were interesting, it was nice to see the Hood. I felt that and maybe it's because I ingest so much of these shows. Like I kind of, there was nothing I didn't call. Like, oh, Riri needs money and she's just met this gang of criminals, so she's gonna work with them, and then something's gonna happen where they're gonna fight, and then she's gonna have a showdown with the guy at the end. Is the big, like, it was very, very boilerplate, predictable. So, and I think where I am now in my fandom of this stuff is, if you're gonna make me sit through hours of television, it's got to be something that I don't think would have made sense in a movie. This could have been a 3-act movie.
Yeah,
and so I kind of felt about it
this.
as I did with as Falcon Winter Soldier. I think that's where I would place it. I don't dislike it. If you remember, I was kind of lukewarm on that because I was like, this is interesting, but like, this just feels like it could have been a movie. So it's, again, I think it's fine. I don't think this is like the secret invasion. Like, I don't think it's bad. No, like technically I think it's well done. It's well acted. It's got to wow me at this point if it's going to be on TV, something like WandaVision or Loki, something that it's an experience you can't get on the big screen, and this didn't. So that's got kind of my feeling on it.
I mean, I'm going to tell the truth. It's probably not that different from where me and Rick landed on it. Yeah, I think we kind of had it above. Well, me and Rick both like Falcon Winter Soldier more than you did. We kind of had it like around where we like Echo. It was kind of like around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, but
yeah,
there's nothing
I can see that.
about.
I'd put it around Echo.
Yeah.
No.
So the big reveal though in the finale. What did you think of that?
Which again is are we going off the air? I mean, we're coming back to the first the first Marvel franchise, and we're getting what, Mephisto at the end of Ironheart? ?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
And I'm watching it I'm watching him in the character talking to the Hood, and I'm like, I know they name dropped Dormammu. I'm like, no, it's not Dormammu. They're not. And I'm thinking to myself, it's gonna be like wink, wink. It's Mephisto, but they're not gonna say it. It's gonna be like a pussy out. But no. When he introduces himself, it's like, I'm Mephisto, and I was like, what?
Did you think for a second it was Doom? Because I thought it was Doom for a second.
No.
My husband showed it to me, and I was like, he's like, you have to see this. I was like, okay. And he was like, British? I don't know. I didn't recognize it at first. And then I was like, wow, selling souls.
If they would have brought Robert Downey Jr. in this as Doom, and meanwhile you did not get him as Ironheart as the AI, then I probably would have lost my mind. Because in the comics, Riri Williams has an AI that's like Tony Stark. She has a relationship with Tony Stark.
Oh, okay.
So,
damn.
Yeah, so if you would have brought him in as Doom and not as any connection with Tony Stark, I may have lost my mind.
I guess that
would have been something.
Right.
But Sacha Baron Cohen, though, as Mephisto, assuming, like, there's been a lot of rumors since of why he was introduced moving forward. I thought that was interesting. It was an awkward place to introduce him, but
it's very awkward. I mean, I thought honestly, after it didn't happen, I guess all along where they name drop him, I'm like, we're never getting a Mephisto. And then Ironheart is just a weird. It's like, and I don't want to say it feels tacked on because it doesn't. But it's more like, now that we've defeated the bad guy, let me show you how he got his power. Or now that we're about to defeat the bad guy, and that's kind of where we get it from. But it's just at the end. He's not peppered or anything. He just shows up.
Yeah. Well, they allude to like somebody was pulling the strings behind the Hood, but they don't show who it is, and then obviously we find out it's Mephisto. But yeah, there's obviously rumors running rampant now, like especially you cast Sacha Baron Cohen, so they're not going to just be one and done. Like there'll be something. This Midnight Suns movie being rumored that he was being introduced for. to do with that, and then
Okay.
Ghost Rider, and this could open up a lot more doors than this. So this could end up like really overshadowing Ironheart and Riri Williams herself to something much bigger.
Yeah, which I guess maybe that's why they put it in there, because they knew that it was like, this is for kind of the diehard fans. You know, and that's the thing. I watched it going, oh, I could see why people would love this. I just didn't speak to me, you know. But I could see why it would speak to people.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was interesting. I just didn't. I also didn't love it. Again, be curious to see. They have to follow up on it for me to really like want to care more about it. Though. But it was not terrible, not great. All right, so then I think that brings us to the main event of the evening. That little MCU movie that dropped over the weekend. The Fantastic Four: First Steps. Finally, the sale of Fox 20th Century Fox to Disney has truly paid off in full in its first time, right? Even though we don't have the X-Men yet, we have the Fantastic Four. It was the other property that that we were all anticipating and wanted back under the MCU, banner. I guess let's go around overall thoughts. And by the way, just to note, spoilers. We are doing a spoiler discussion, ladies and gentlemen. So if you did not see the Fantastic Four: First Steps, then you've been warned. Or you can come back and check us out later. If you have, let's go. There will be spoilers all over the place. Ginny, you can start us off, because Jason and I saw the movie together the first time I saw it. We got to see it on IMAX on Thursday night. So we have no idea what your thoughts are. What are the overall thoughts of the film?
Well, I will say, I hear my child screaming, Jason. I know you have a baby boy screaming in the background. I have my girls, like my husband's putting the girls to bed. I loved it. This is the hot take, and I think we had to look at each other after the movie and go, was it better than Superman? And I go, yeah, because and not even, and you know me, guys, Comfort Watch is the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. It is. And I have the new, gosh, what's it called? I was gifted the graphic novel. I had to figure out what I didn't start it yet. I have the super to get through still. But I was also gifted when I met my husband for the first time, because he knew how much I love the Fantastic Four, all the early Jack Kirby comics, like
nice,
right over there. I love it. The directing was great, but then also we leave the movie also going, this was under 2 hours. Okay, under 2 hours. Everything felt great to me. Now we're nitpicking, and we can talk about it later. Some things I was like, or my husband was like, oh, did you remember this person was in the trailer? I was like, I don't remember that. And he goes, yeah, that was cut. I was like, oh, that didn't read to me at all, because they cut stuff. They cut stuff, as you should, and like keep what's important. Is it relationships? Is it the action sequences? The theater we saw, the gasps that were held for Fantastic Four, I didn't hear anything during Superman. I heard it during Fantastic Four, where it was like, and it was nothing. It was like Galactus like stepping, and you're like, everyone was like, you're like, oh, okay, everyone's in it, but that was great to me. The style was great. The exposition, I guess, the introduction to characters, I loved it. I think at the end of the day, we do have to kind of, and it's not a competition. Nothing's a competition. We just go, like, it's like Thunderbolts was so great for that reason too. It was just like, and everybody apparently knew, and it's the 60s. They're like a very waspy family. It's fascinating to me, but I think it's, I don't know, great writing, great style. I loved it, and I just related to. I love Sue and Reed's relationships. I loved it when I was 15 years old for no good reason. And I love Johnny. This is my thing. Joseph Quinn. I always sometimes go, I don't know why he's a big thing. I loved him in Stranger Things, and then I'll be like, all right, great career, go enjoy yourself. I loved his Johnny Storm. I was like, damn it, it's so good. His plot was great. He was great. Like, He really had me like rooting for him, and I had thoughts about that too. I loved it though. I think I'm still kind of reeling. I saw it Friday, so I don't know. Friday night.
Interesting. Did you go to Atlas to see it?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. So I was there that morning seeing it again.
I kind of like. I do like. It's like Deadpool. We saw Deadpool with a big crowd of people who were cheering, and when you see it, and the parent jokes hit, and so like me and my husband are laughing, and like I love it with a really, and then your ending. Everyone has a big reaction to post-credit sequences. I do. Atlas is great for that, though. Atlas is the best.
Nice.
Good New York. Go to Queens.
All right. Jason, what are your overall thoughts on it? I know we discussed it, but
yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I think again we talked about a good ensemble. This was a good ensemble. Everyone had something to do. Everyone got their moment. There were some twists that like I didn't realize. Like we had talked about, like, Franklin will be born at the end by the end of the movie, but like no, like 20 minutes in, he's popping out. Like all of that was already set up, which I appreciated. They wasted no time. I really liked that Johnny's thing was the human thing, like that was what he brought to it. Like he was able to make a connection with the Silver Surfer, and which kind of comes back at the end and helps them. I like that was Johnny who did that, because Johnny's usually the obnoxious ass, and even in this, like he's not as bad as he has been in certain incarnations, but he's kind of a wise ass. But I love that he like no, I can crack this code. I belong on the team too. So there's some really cool character moments. Loved Herbie. Love the 60s aesthetic. The fact that it looked like a 60s comic book, I think was great. I loved seeing Galactus like on screen. I can't help it, even though he was a bit too small, but that's fine. I was okay with that. I think my only thing with Galactus, I said this is literally the only tiny thing of the movie, is I just for a god, which Galactus is, they kind of took him down a bit easier than I think they should have. But it's a movie. We can't get them. They can't call up Uatu and say, "Could I have the ultimate nullifier?" like they did in the comic book. So you got to give it some clemency, and I'm going to. But that's my one and only small nitpick.
I loved it. I adored this movie. It gave me some vibes, kind of like Superman. Like Jenny, I mentioned last week. Like when I watched Superman, I felt it was almost beginning to end. I had this like huge smile on my face. Like I was having like such a happy, and I had that same experience with Fantastic Four. It was, I was all in, fully engaged. I loved like you guys had mentioned, the 60s aesthetic, and that's kind of what we always envisioned the MCU was going to do with the Fantastic Four. But we had different ideas that we thought they were going to. Remember at one point, Jason, we were talking about they were going to be found in the quantum realm, but they got lost in the 60s and got brought back now. But this is a cleaner way to do it, to bring them from another universe, because you don't have to worry about tying into anything.
Simple. Very simple.
Super simple. So, which was cool.
Yeah.
The team itself, Pedro Pascal, for me, like, even listen, he's even good in Wonder Woman 84. I don't care. Like, yeah, the first movie we covered, I know it keeps tying back
100%
to
he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, are you sure we're not going off the airhead because the coincidences?
Listen, your show is good. It can be better.
Guys, we haven't watched the movie since it came out. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Nicely done.
Yeah, no, I love Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. Vanessa Kirby, another one who can't do any wrong. I mean, she might, now that ScarJo's out of the MCU, could be the new MCU crush. The MCU crush could be Sue Storm now, because Vanessa Kirby is
love her.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, Johnny Storm, loved him. Ben Grimm's thing and everything, like, he was awesome. He looked great. He also looked believable. Herbie was cool. I actually wanted a little bit more Herbie. I thought he was going to kind of be their crypto in a way.
I had thoughts on Herbie. We'll talk about Herbie.
Yeah, he was cool, but I just
I just go, my thoughts.
I just thought that we were getting a little more. And my God, Jason, we saw this on IMAX, and I will now, and I've seen it on regular format now. Okay, if you have not seen this, or if you just didn't see it in IMAX, like Ginny, if you get a chance, please see this on IMAX because Galactus, the steps and everything, anything to do with him is so amplified in IMAX. It's bananas.
I did say,
That's
I
awesome.
think I was chastised for saying this. Is it wrong to compare Thanos to Galactus? Because he was such a big villain when it first came out. But I know who Galactus was when Thanos was around and about. And I was like, he's scary. I don't know. He's just much more of a threat.
Yeah, he will eat your planet.
Yes, he's not a cloud, but I go, that he has like a weird, beautiful, gorgeous, great CGI. I just go, no one cares. The comparison to Thanos, thoughts?
I mean, CGI wise,
anymore is what I'm saying. I don't
well,
know.
I think CGI wise, sure. I mean, with Thanos though, Thanos got more character development as it went on, and his whole thing of like wiping out, like, sure, Galactus is eating planets that are being selected by his herald, but Thanos is talking about like Thanos wiped out half of existence.
Yeah, he is.
He technically could have done a lot more damage than just with the snaps.
Cerebral. He's more cerebral, but I don't know look wise.
And the thing was this though is that Thanos's rationale, villains who think they're doing the right thing, and they're hardcore about that. Like Galactus understands he has this curse, this hunger, and he wants to get rid of it, and that's why he wants the child. Like it is a little different. But his presence, his physical everything was more felt on IMAX for me. Like just the thumping and everything, and even the crazy deep voice, and even when his eyes open, you hear that and he's scanning Manhattan and everything.
The audience I was with was like reacting to, and it wasn't like a punch or a fight scene or like, someone being pummeled or anything like that. It was literally like Galactus being like hovering. And I was like, I have never just seen this in a movie where it's like, it's so thrilling. I was like, it was coming or it was at stake. And I was like, but it was him. But he was lurking. He was just like, boom, boom. And they're like, the suspense was insane in this movie, and it's a Fantastic Four movie. Why is the suspense so good? I ask.
Like you said, well written. Like they knocked it out of the park with this. I think clearly we can agree this is the best Fantastic Four movie, and it's not particularly.
Oh, I think so. I think that's all to say.
I think I am finally ready to make this statement publicly. It's been a long road to get here, but I think I have finally found a Fantastic Four movie that I like better than the Roger Corman one, which up to date was the best and is now the second best Fantastic Four movie ever made, because this has now usurped.
I think we can agree to disagree on that a little bit. We need to like go that far, and I love,
Okay.
I know you have a soft spot for, and I also have a soft spot for that first Sony whatever it was, Fox, whatever it was.
I think, and Civil Service.
Yeah.
My husband and I talk about this, that we go, how many that aren't Marvel current movies that are like not 2.5 hours long that I can get my kids to sit down and watch? Have they both watched the Fantastic Four movies? The 2000s ones, like 2005 Silver Surfer one? Yeah, my children have both watched those. And sometimes you go, do you want an easy 1.5 hour watch of a superhero movie? And then do they go then play with their friends and go, you're the fire guy, you're the rock guy, you're invisible girl? Like they have done that. And I go, no, I just think that's a safe bet. And Spider-Man, even the Raimi Spider-Man movie's too weird. And even Tom Holland Spider-Man's a bit too weird. So I talked to my husband. I was like, yeah, I think the Fantastic Four 2005 movie is a nice, wholesome movie, superhero movie for your kids. It's weird.
Well, I think we came around. The Tim Story one, Jason and I came around with when we did the rewatch. It was better than we remember it being, but we just.
Yeah. It's dated.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But when do I show my girls Daredevil 2000? Like, when do I show them that? When they're 13? Like me?
Yeah.
All right, I think that's what it is.
I think so, because then you could just show them the bizarre scene of fighting in the park. And
Yes, I will. I will. I
Yeah.
watched it twice in theaters and I'm 13 years old. Guys,
Yeah.
they're going to be fine.
That movie.
it'll be all right.
We've done
Farachi,
that
what's
movie, right?
up? We did. We did Daredevil,
Woo!
Elektra.
What's up, boss man?
That's what took us down the Punisher Warzone. Yeah, we went down.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, I mean, interrupt. So anyway, Fantastic Four, the good movie, the best movie of this, the best movie.
First Steps is definitely the champion now. So not that we really thought it was going to be any other way.
Best movie.
I think we can all agree this was.
No.
Yeah. No. What was that?
Best superhero movie of the year.
I think we can all.
Ooh, see, that's where things get interesting.
You choose.
All right, Jenny, you brought it up. We can discuss it right now because before we deep dive into.
And we can deep dive first.
Okay. All right, so we'll do that. No, we definitely got to talk about that at the end of this because that's the top. Like Superman versus Fantastic Four versus Thunderbolts, and it did come out this year. Captain America: Brave New World. It did exist, so we know that's probably unfortunately come last. But the other three, it's been a pretty damn good year for comic book stuff, I will say. Our new material that we've covered this year has been pretty good. Even though we talked about Ironheart, Daredevil, Born Again did happen this year. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man happened this year. There's been some good stuff. I guess we can start off talking about, before we even get to the team, since we kind of discussed it, but we didn't really dive into was the topic of some people's issues, the Silver Surfer, which was Shella Ball in this, not Norman Reed. So let's get through that. There was no gender swap done by Marvel Studios. It's a different Silver Surfer. Because in the comics, since the 60s, there have been multiple Silver Surfers. So we can just go ahead and attack that one head on. I thought she was awesome. I really enjoyed this take on the Silver Surfer. CGI-wise, I thought she looked incredible. Well, I will say the Rise of the Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, that Silver Surfer looked really cool also. Like, no, that wasn't one of the issues with the movie at all. This one, though, I did feel like it's also like almost 20 years later, so the CGI looked great on her. Like they had like the mirror image when Johnny's talking to her, and I know he gets into talking about how he was like stared into her eyes and everything, and you got like this warm message. That was a really funny scene when they were talking about that. But she was intimidating when she shows up to talk about how she heralds Galactus. She heralds their end and his beginning. Like, I thought she was awesome. Plus, she's just a great actress. I mean, I remember I caught her on Ozark, and I loved her on that. But this is a totally different situation here.
Yeah, I agree. I loved her on Ozark as well, and then I liked her in this a lot. I agree with you. I think she's really menacing. She has the turn at the end when the Human Torch has that like kind of emotional breakthrough with her, and then you see her wrestling with that. Like she does some great work with what she has, and yeah, I mean I wonder. I'm curious if Jack Kirby, what Jack Kirby's role in the Silver Surfer incarnation that we got in this movie, and if that's maybe why they chose it, because this was like the Jack Kirby verse, right? They show us at the end how it's like, especially it's a nod to him. So I wonder if maybe he had a special relationship with that particular Silver Surfer, and that's why she shows up over Norrin Radd.
I'm going to try to go ahead and look that up for you quickly to see if I can, because see if we can pull that up while we're talking about this. But so I mean, I know Shella Ball from Earth X, because I had read Earth X and Paradise X, and then there was like Planet X. There was like 3 or 4 graphic novels, and it's an alternate universe in Marvel Comics where there are multiple Silver Surfers, and that's where Franklin Richards is Galactus in that thing, and there's a lot of crazy stuff like Mayday Parker is Venom, and it gets wild. So I thought it was an interesting choice, and it was interesting way. Plus, I do feel like they have other plans for Norman Reedus in the Sacred Timeline MCU proper. So I think it was a smart choice to kind of go this route as well. Jenny, your thoughts on Silver Surfer?
I loved her. When she was cast, I was like, okay, of course you're not going to go for like back to our traditional looking Galactus. I was like, Kelly Gardner, all right. I don't totally love her as like an actress sometimes, just like Joseph Quinn probably. And then I see her, she's great, so good in this movie. Again, everything is like taking me, maybe because me and my husband both were like, we had to lower expectations for, I don't know, for no good reason. But then intimidating, but beautiful, like gorgeous, and like look. And then the backstory, and also Johnny going to, and that's what I want. Who's Firestar? Is his love interest Firestar? No. Who's his? He has a love interest in the comics. But I was like, I want Johnny to be with an intergalactic, like it needs to be a meta human, something. And I loved it in this relationship. And he's like negotiating with her. And the most beautiful thing, there's a few beautiful things in this movie, like I think beautiful, where he was like, the call where she's like, warning, and they translated the declaration of like your plant's gonna get eaten, and he translates those back to her. But he did it by himself, not Reed, because Johnny was like, I can do this. I've connected with her. I will talk to her. A little romantic, but they don't like. There's no romance, but it's a little romantic. And then also, when there's a sacrifice come into play, he's like, take me to the surfer. And I go, that's the most heroic, most dashing, so good. But he reached out to her core, and he like knew who the surfer was, which is what Sue had done in the 2007 movie. But I love that because you're just a herald. You're just like a pawn. It's like you were the sacrifice for this bigger being. And God, it was so good. It was so well done. But I love Johnny. Like I can do it. I'm like, oh my gosh. It was so good. The take me. Anytime someone's like, just I'll do it. Take me. You know. So good.
Yeah. So by the way, Jason, before we get to it though, yes, Jack Kirby did create Shellaball and who first appeared in Fantastic Four number 48 in 1966.
Okay.
So Kirby.
All the people going, they made it into a woman. Yeah, because they were honoring Jack Kirby. Watch the fucking movie.
Yeah, it was. We know there was a lot of that crap, and
because the idea is that like he was gonna take anybody who was like, don't do it. I will put myself first. It's like the prophecy.
Yeah. And he does have multiple heralds.
Yeah, it's not just Norman Reedus. Like, because he also turns good eventually. So once he becomes a hero, Galactus does get a herald at some point. So there's that. But yeah, I think she's also Julia Gardner. By the way, she was in Wolfman.
I didn't see Wolfman. I saw Wolves with Frank Grillo.
Did you see that?
No. We discussed that one. Yeah. But no, the Wolfman was also really good. She's in that, and she's actually really good in that too. She carries a lot of that movie on her shoulders. But yeah, I liked everything about Silver Surfer and her whole storyline and everything like that.
That was tense. Even those scenes were like, they're not battle sequences. They're very like, anytime she comes into play, it's like thrilling. It's like no one's trying to defeat her. We're just like, we're gonna have to deflect. We have to like figure this out by science or by like smarts. So it's not really a fight scene. Like no one's punched. It's just like, but it's tense because you're like, oh gosh, we have to get her out of here. Or like cut this, sever this tie or close this porthole. To my recollection, that was like a lot of scenes.
Well, there was that chase scene where they were going ahead and they go to negotiate with Galactus.
Yes.
And Silver Surfer is after them, and they can't stop her, so they have to find a way. You're right, through science to push her basically into like a black hole.
My audience was like gasping. I was like, there's no fire, there's no. I was just like, yes, oh my gosh, please go make it through. Like tense, just tense.
I love that they trick her into the black hole. Like, there are some times here where they have to science their way out of it, and I appreciated it. Like even in that scene when Ben's like, "What if we more fuel? Should I try to slingshot us around using the gravity?" And it's like, see, it doesn't take a lot. Just I don't care if you could really do that. You throw that in there, make me feel they're sciencing it out. They were, damn it.
Yeah, I'm sure Neil deGrasse Tyson will drop his scientific views on the Fantastic Four at some point. So we'll see if this is all possible. But I also couldn't give a shit less. And if it is, you're right though, Jason. This movie emphasizes a lot of the intelligence of the Fantastic Four. It really does lean into them, like you said, science and all of them, not just Reed. Like everyone else is standing around waiting for Reed to figure everything out. The whole team contributes at different points. And even like, Ben's like a pilot and stuff, but you're right. He also shows that he's also intelligent as well. And it also reinforces why the hell they were in space with Reed to begin with.
Even if it's like a weird 60s universe where a woman can't go to space, I was like, I think you're all competent, qualified. And yeah, that's it.
Reed explains they were the greatest minds who happen to also be his like family and friends. So it does reinforce that. Jason, good catch there with that.
I did laugh at that though, and he was like, the greatest minds who happen to be related to me. It's not nepotism if they're good, Please, no, I swear. I mean, sure, we got to love the Daemon. She's my wife. Imagine the hell she'd give me. Like,
oh yeah.
And I guess we can go ahead and talk about Galactus next. We talked about his like imposing thing on screen, how large he is and everything like that. But his whole story and his whole thing of wanting, because in this movie he wants Franklin Richards is the MacGuffin of this movie.
He's born halfway through the movie, and then which we know clocked, I guess. Yeah,
because Silver Surfer selects Earth 838 to be next, and then once they go to negotiate with Galactus, and he scans Sue and sees what she has. Going inside, guess what? I see this who has the power cosmic, and that's and that's who he wants. But Galactus, my God, like Jason, I agree with you. Like he was set up to be extremely he is intimidating in this movie and all of that. The way he's kind of tricked. I think he's kind of tricked at the end. And which is why I don't think we're going to... because they set a trap for him, which he catches on to. Remember, because there's that scene where he's about to step into it, and he's like, hey.
Yes.
No, that's not the baby. Baby's over here. I'm going to go get the baby now.
Yeah.
He goes ahead and gets out of that. But then, he's pushed in. And also, though, he wasn't going in there unless the Silver Surfer turns on him and pushes him into it.
This is true.
It wasn't just like he tripped over his own foot and fell into, another dimension and stuff like that. Like that would have been some shit.
A trap.
Right? That would have been, oh my God, we caught him in a bear trap. We tied Galactus' shoelaces together and now he fell into another universe.
That'd be fucking hysterical. Galactus is just like tripping over himself. No. Yeah. I agree with you.
He was crushing through things. He was like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah. So Jason, you were saying?
But this is Galactus. Like Galactus is a god, and I agree with you. They didn't dispatch him like whatever. Like you said, he wasn't an idiot. It was a trap, and they had help with the Silver Surfer. And again, this is not a hill I'm going to die on. This doesn't take away my enjoyment of the movie. But Galactus is a god. They essentially pushed a god into a hole.
Into a black hole with the help of a cosmic being that he, created in Silver Power to push him there. Because with no Silver Surfer, he probably gets out of that.
Jason, I've been playing Baldur's Gate recently. Baldur's Gate 3. Sometimes you have to push someone down a pit to defeat a big villain. Just.
But also, Ginny, Jason and I think we talked about this though. But the other thing is that we believe that him being pushed into another, because that's all they did is push him into another universe, so he can't get to them anytime soon. We think they pushed him into the sacred timeline into 616, and that's why the Fantastic Four has to go and help out because they have Galactus maybe on their hands. I don't know.
Oh, you don't think he's just in like a different universe with Jessica Alba and Yoan Griffith, and he's
And
a
it's
cloud
like,
now?
I'm not a cloud. Oh, you think he became the cloud?
What if he's the cloud, you guys? What if he's the cloud?
He's just hanging out. He's like, guys, it's me, Galactus.
I don't know what I'm
planet
doing
before.
here. This is a weird world.
Fantastic Five.
Oh man, that would be wow. That would be the most upsetting ending if I found out that's what it really was. I would take him getting his shoes tied together over that. If he became the cloud from that universe, Jesus. We just this can't be the last we see of Galactus. It's just I'll take it. This can't be the last.
It's scary.
And here's the thing: they're doing a version of Secret Wars. Yes, I know they're not calling it Secret Wars, but they're doing Battle Worlds. They're introducing Doctor Doom. They've introduced Galactus. Clearly, there has to be the moment where Doctor Doom tricks Galactus into stealing his powers, has happened in the Secret Wars comic line. It has to. If the fans will not abide that not being in there somehow.
Ooh, and now something kind of just came. Now that you mentioned that, something regarding the mid.
I think that's smart though, Jason. Are the writers that smart? I think we lucked out a little bit with this movie. I think this movie's pretty smart.
It is. It is. Really
you gotta prove to me though, Robert Downey Jr. is still Doom. So I gotta go.
What do you mean? You're saying no?
Prove. The writing is because this is amazing. They still cut a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just need to know if in Thunderbolts is amazing. I just need to know what's going on in the next,
Well, the next movie is Spider-Man: Brand New Day next July. That's the next MCU movie.
That's the next movie.
That's the next movie because Doomsday doesn't come out until next December.
July.
Yeah, July. Yeah, next year's 2 movies. That's it.
Okay. So I just have DC stuff in between.
Well, we got Wonder Man in December.
Who's in Wonder Man? Green Lantern.
No, that's Marvel. Wonder Man is the guy who was Black Manta.
Berry Boy from Candyman.
Yes.
By Candyman. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
His name.
That's Marvel though. That's Marvel.
Yeah, no, Wonder Man is Marvel.
Oof. Okay. I'm
Which,
ready.
by the way, kudos to him for showing up to the Fantastic Four First Steps premiere in character as Wonder Man.
No way.
Because Wonder Man's an actor.
Oh, yes. I knew this. He showed up. I'm sorry. Keep talking.
Yes, he showed up in character, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. And it's an interesting way to let people know, get people a little interested. Like, hey, this isn't the last MCU thing we have.
He doesn't have to do that. Oh, he's such a good actor. Oh, baby. Hang on.
That's genius. I thought it was genius. So the team, let's start off with Reed. Jason, your thoughts on Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards? Your nemesis in some ways?
I liked his take on Reed Richards.
Jason was singing the praises of Dr. Doom immediately after the movie.
Oh, that's what. Okay, great.
Look, it was nice to watch the world's second smartest man work before we get to the world's smartest man. But we'll get there. We'll get there. No, I mean, I still think he could have lost the mustache, but again, it wasn't a deal breaker. I thought his acting was really good. I thought he brought this sort of scholarly, sort of feel to it. Yeah, I mean, I nothing else I could say except the mustache. It's too early, but whatever. That's not a hill I'm going to die.
It's a different universe.
It just took nothing.
It's a universe. I don't like when Soup has Utah Mormon girl curls. That's not very 60s, is it? Is it, Jason? You have the flip out. She had a little bit of that too. That's a different universe, though. Okay, that's not period appropriate. That's my biggest gripe with Soup.
It sounded like we were almost agreeing there, Jenny. I'm not sure what happened.
Sometimes you have a mustache. But also, I was watching a lot of Barney Miller with my in-laws recently for no reason. You know Barney Miller?
Yeah, of course.
He looks like Pedro Pascal. And you know why? He just looks like, Google him. He has a mustache, but he's like a 70s detective. And I go, why am I really into? He was on the Muppet Show. We watched the Muppet Show episode with him. I was like, but that's the '60s Reed, and I love a Pedro Pascal. You know, I want Pedro Pascal to help me through childbirth. You don't mind
in space?
In space. But then also, what did my husband say? He was like, I think you need gravity for childbirth. I'm
also going to call that out as being the most unrealistic thing we see in the movie. The fact that childbirth is that clean. Like they're in space and it's like, oh, baby.
Her face was a little red, a little more flushed. And I was like, well, I was, we're all vomiting a little bit. It's a little bit more intense.
No, it was. No, I want someone.
Well, they were in an ultra intense moment. Besides what was going on, they just were getting chased by the Silver Surfer. They just met Galactus. There was a lot going on right there.
I think about that. I was like, that's the best way to get induced, I guess. I also love the way you opened that movie. You opened that movie with a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Imagine the children in the theater, and also a lot of good parent, and real parenting jokes in a way where it's like your brother-in-law is like, you're going to be a terrible father, yada, yada, so good. And then you have your friends who are like, I'll take the baby. Let me hold this baby. Thank you so much. And also my husband's favorite part, I think, of the movie was when Johnny has a baby at the end of the movie and is like, it's just him, the thing, or holding a baby. And Johnny's like, kind of like, ooh, what is this baby like? I'm going to nom, 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 nom. Because that's what you do with a baby. You go, ooh, baby leg.
Yeah, so, I definitely, their whole chemistry was like a
it was so good.
Family,
it was so nice.
Not just a team. I thought was really good. But as far as Reed goes, I thought Pedro Pascal does a great job at Reed Richards. I think he distinguishes himself, besides the mustache and the facial hair, from other incarnations of live action Reed Richards, because they actually do go into a lot of the things about actually comic book Reed Richards. Like when he's talking to Franklin when he's by himself and he's like, hey, most dads want you to be like them inside and out.
Yeah.
But I don't want that. There's something wrong with me. Like because of the way he thinks and those conversations he has with Sue, about how he thinks. And he even explains, I have to think the worst case scenario to make sure that it doesn't happen to us or the people we're trying to protect. I need to make sure it happens to them and stop them. And they go into the psychology of Reed Richards really well in this movie, I think. Right? Like, Jason, you've read some Fantastic Four with your escapades of really reading about Dr. Doom, and you've seen, Reed Richards. Like, this is the way he really is. And I really appreciated the fact that it wasn't just like, oh, I'm a smart guy, and that's about it, and that's the beginning and end of his character. And that is his main superpower. His stretching ability was cool, and it was shown in some scenes in a really good way, where we talked about that, where it doesn't look goofy, it actually looks good, and it's used well. But the Reed Richards' intelligence throughout this movie, and the way he also just talks about the whole thing of giving Franklin up. And him and Sue get into an argument about that, which I thought that was a great scene, where he's like, she's like, you ran the calculations, you went over this, you've thought about this. And he lays it on the table that it is a possibility, not one he's willing to do, but he said it's ethical, it's logical. Turning my son in is probably the thing to do to technically save the planet, but we're gonna find a way to still make it work because I'm not giving up my fucking son to Galactus. So I thought I loved his portrayal of Reed Richards.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
There's a line that I talked to my husband about it afterwards, where it was like, I love Sue in the 2005 movie where she talks about Reed, stop being so calculated, clinical. It's nice to be wanted. Talk to me, look at me. It's like there's no variables involved in a lot of relationships. Just we have to be together. It's simple. And then in this movie, they're talking about giving up a son, or the being practical, I think, in a way, which is in our day and age terrible. And the line was, my friend sent to me, he goes, Reed, I get that this is just the way you are, but sometimes you being like this hurts me. And he apologized and says he doesn't mean to be that way. And I go, okay. And it was like, and that was it. That's kind of how they end this like little, very like Cassavetes-esque drama they have between the two of them. But the way she said, I was like, oh my God, I've not seen like totally related to that when you like, and you have to talk to your husband, go like, sometimes he's like, I can't help it. I do this. This is how I am. And you go, yeah, but it does like make me sad. Or sometimes, even if it's like, maybe you sacrifice your son or this is something we have to deal with. And then Thunderbolts has had conversations like this too. Like that not since Thunderbolts, I think, have I had a quote or a bit of dialogue between two characters where I was like, oh my God, like, yes. And it's just between these two, a couple. And so Reed and Sue are like such anchors in this movie for me. Yeah. Man, I love. Pedro, so good.
But wasn't that the scene where he says that though, where he explains why his mind has to go there?
Yes, and then it's a good. He's like he's giving genuine, but it's like if you as a wife or a woman who is like, your whatever your dynamic is, but you can still say like, yeah, you have to. I know this is who you are. It still hurts me, and you have to walk away because it's like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you can kind of. It's very. It's just it resonated with me. I was like, all my friends were like, we had a group. We're like, why is this like quote so like real? And you're like, I don't know, because your partners will do that to you, and it's it's a conversation you have. There's nothing like angry about it. It's just like. I know this is how you are. It's like, especially if you're very, how you think. Love that quote. That was like my takeaway of a quote. And also when Johnny was like, you can just take me. I was like, that's great. But I don't know. That's great. The Sue and Reed were so mature, so perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, by the way, just to talk to another scene about Reed, and I know we talked about Galactus, but my God, at the end in that battle, when Galactus takes Reed and he is like stretching like a fucking rubber band, that is nuts. Yeah. That was intense, man.
What do you mean he can't stretch that far? Like, how much is he stretched? Like, what's his limit? What's the limit?
Well, you saw his suit was busting at the seams that they made, but like, he was going to keep going. And I think pretty sure Galactus was about to just snap him in half until he gets saved.
Yeah, I think Galactus was curious.
Yeah, he was curious to see how far this can really go. To show his true power.
Exactly.
Jason. Breaking elastic things. So Sue.
I thought he was going to shoot him like a rubber band. Like,
he could have.
He could have, it's true. Yeah, Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm is also
so good.
She's top notch.
So mature.
She was everything that as the character of Sue Storm, she was everything that I thought was so much of an improvement over Jessica Alba's Sue Storm.
This is like the comics evolved to this Sue Storm. Like she should be, even if she's vintage or like very retro, she's like a leader. She's classy. She's like very mature, very, I don't know what her role is ever. They don't say like what her job was in the flight. She was just married to Reed, has her brother, but is capable, intelligent. She's also like she delegate Mole Man. She's like the go between for Mole Man. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. She's the one who's basically the negotiator essentially for the Fantastic Four. Now you can see she has a lot to do with the Future Foundation, the base. Yeah. Because I think the way I walked about it,
because Reed won't do it. I don't think.
Well, I think at different times in this movie, because this was one of the other things that some people were whining about before seeing the movie. A certain part of the fandom was crying about before the movie is that Sue Storm is the new leader of the Fantastic Four in this movie. What have they done? Watching the film, I'm like, no, Reed seems to clearly be the leader of the Fantastic Four, but Sue also has a leadership role in this film. She's not just there to tell, like, that's what I didn't like about Jessica Alba's Sue Storm, but it was I feel like they wrote her as being naggy at times and things like that, and I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb. And this
but also just because you make her a scientist doesn't mean she's like, yay, we fixed feminism. It's also like, if your husband is like, running a thing, but also she's not even a mother yet. Her maternal touch, her gentle touch, which is a gift and beautiful, is that she can talk to people and go, I am like, you're well spoken, you can communicate, you can like negotiate with people. We have lost that, I sometimes feel like, in our government. But she does it with the villains, like, no less, because she is, that's why she does it in the second Fantastic Four movie and the other one to Galactus, but it's Johnny in this one, which is great. But Reed is, you have skills. What are your skills? It's like, are you, can you talk to people? Are you open? I think it's beautiful. Actually, the more you talk about it, I was like, that's even better than just being like a mother of the group.
No, she's not just a mother, but she's definitely the one who can be the negotiator and the face, like you said, the motherly touch to talk to. She talks to Harvey Elder, who's Mole Man in this. And I love that whole dynamic that he will only talk to Sue and won't even talk to Reed. And Reed keeps calling him Mole Man.
Brilliant. And
he absolutely drives him nuts. And I told Jason, though, Jenny, before we came on here, Jenny, I think I told you last week, they came out with a tie-in comic.
I know.
The Fantastic
Four Moment was in the movie, guys. I was like that detached.
No, Mole Man's in it, but they have a comic called The Fantastic Four #1, which came out a few weeks ago. And I actually read it before we went on air tonight. And it's about their first mission when they fight Gigantor and they take down Mole Man. And it goes into why Mole Man won't speak to Reed. That's established right there in that, and why Sue jumps in and he'll only talk to her. So I thought that's really cool. But she has a bigger role in this.
Yeah, it's just always there. Yeah.
And she's also the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. Like, her skills, her powers, her superpowers.
Yeah. She goes invisible like twice in the movie, right? How many times is she visible? Like twice. Once where she's like, she surprises somebody. Otherwise, she does.
Well, when they're in the ship and Reed asks her to turn them invisible as a cloaking device.
Oh, okay.
That was also there too.
She goes a little. Oh gosh. Oh, did she go invisible with the baby in her belly?
She's to show Reed.
She did actually.
Wants to see inside.
That's crazy. That was crazy to me. Beautiful, but I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because he wants to see Franklin when he doesn't know Franklin has powers in that, because
she doesn't do it during battle. She does it's force.
No, she uses her force field shit to push Galactus towards the black hole and literally kills herself.
Yeah.
Doing so, she does die.
Sue has to stop dying in movies. I don't like that. Don't care for that. She keeps dying.
See, Jason, she had to kill herself.
I do like
push Galactus.
All right. I actually really like the moment when they come back and they're like, well, Galactus said he'll take one thing to save the world, but we're not going to give it to him. What is it? It's our son. And everyone's like, no. And then they have a moment like, what do you expect us to do? Give up our son? We're your protectors. We're not going to give up our son. I like that moment for both of the actors. And I think Sue Storm gets more aggro and becomes more leader, potential as it gets more personal. Like in the beginning, she's letting Reed call the shots, but by the end, it's not just about who's calling the shots, but protecting their child. And I think that's why people are mistaking that she's like, oh, she's the leader. No, she's got a more personal stake, so she steps up. She's intelligent.
Yeah, and that scene when she brings Franklin out to that crowd that's outside of the Baxter Building and gives them that whole heartfelt speech about it, like, hey, listen, we're not going to sacrifice our child for the Earth, and we're also not going to sacrifice the Earth for our child. Like, we're going to find a way out of this as a family. And it's a great scene where she has there. So
it is.
I think
Jessica Kirby.
She's great. Even in Mission Impossible movies, she was in a Napoleon movie too, by the way.
Yeah. She trained actress, classically trained. Her and Pedro just like do Shakespeare, guys, forever. Just do a Broadway play together, and I will pay millions of dollars to see it.
Absolutely. So Johnny, you get Human Torch, Johnny Storm in this movie too. Ginny, you talked a lot about him. He's willing to sacrifice himself, and he's the one who is the bridge between the team and the Silver Surfer in this. And he has that really funny moment where he talks about the sexy alien and stuff like that, and he's like, "Yeah, I know what you guys are all thinking.
So
Johnny
funny.
loves space. Johnny loves women. I'm not being like gazing here, like." Trust me, she spoke to me nicely. Like,
He's so genuine, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like this John. I do like this Johnny Storm more. And props to Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, and R.I.P. to him for getting killed.
Yeah.
For me. But yeah, this Johnny Storm is more of like a character. There's no goofy Super Skrull nonsense that happens like in the other movie. Like, his powers look cool. Like the way he goes on.
I thought his fire looked great. Like that was just kind of, they used it in great ways. I don't know. I'm just like sometimes, but also it was just really well directed because sometimes it'd be like when he would show up in full fire form, like, oh my gosh, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
Like, especially with Silver Surfer. But also, I don't know. It wasn't like a shock. It was just kind of like efficient.
Yeah.
His fire was great.
And also Johnny Storm, when they're doing that montage in the beginning, where they're showing the kind of like the, missions past stuff of the Fantastic Four and they're catching us up. He saves, I would tell Jason, it's like there are actual people from the Roger Corman, their cast is in this movie, and they get saved by Johnny Storm early on in the movie. It's like blink and you'll miss it, but they're in this. I thought it was really cool that they made sure that they were included.
I saw the only one because my husband was like, oh, I think they're in there. And I was like, the only one I saw was there's a news anchor who was the Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. Was it? He's in the Phantom of the Opera, Freddy Krueger version that I saw, so I knew this actor. But I was like, where are the other ones? Where are the other Fantastic Four actors?
Yeah, Johnny's pretty badass, and that was another thing people were like, oh, he's not like, he's not going to be womanizing Johnny Storm. I'm like, well, this Johnny Storm isn't womanizing Johnny Storm, but they acknowledge that Johnny Storm, he's a smart ass. He's the character's still fully there, and
he's still horny, Johnny Storm. I mean, he's like really into Shia LaBeouf. I mean,
the herald that is coming to destroy the earth. He's already like talking about how beautiful she is, and he's like smitten by her.
Right.
Exactly. It's like girls love him. He's like a heartthrob, but he just is like, I could do a good job too. I can like, don't count me out, team, which I love. Because that's an underdog then, which is, I don't know,
he's a bit of an underdog. It's true.
He's an underdog a little bit to me in this movie.
Yeah, especially in that room because they look at him as the younger, Sue's little brother who is, here and, he's a bit of a, lack of a better term, a hothead in there. And he's just doing whatever his thing, but he's also, he plays his intelligence is leaned on in this version, which I thought was pretty awesome. And Ben Grimm. So we get a thing here who's got his classic, trench coat and hat and stuff. Jason.
I like that a lot. I actually really like this Ben Grimm a lot. And I was a big fan of the commish Ben Grimm. Like I think I did say that. Like I think he's probably my favorite.
I say not the Shield, Ben Grimm. Say
I'm
the Shield.
Older than you. That's what it is. To me, he's always going to be the commish. But I really like this. I liked he's definitely the heart of the group. Even I thought the payoff was nice. And again, we saw this a million times on the trailers, but he's testing the sauce and he has a nice relationship with Johnny. They're not like at each other's throats. Like in previous incarnations, it always feels like Johnny's kind of like beating up the special kid. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always bullying the Thing for being ugly. But in this, there's none of that meanness. Like, no, they're family. They're just giving each other shit because that's what family does. And I appreciated that. I really liked that.
So the other thing that the tie-in comic does, by the way, it explains the running joke that goes throughout this movie about the tagline about it's clobbering time. So in the trailers, there's a lot of alluded to. Johnny keeps busting his balls throughout the movie. Hey, Ben, what time is it? I wonder what time it is. It's dinner time.
Yeah.
No, come on, say it. And the guy in the street's like, say the thing. It's clobbering time. So apparently when they fought Gigantor in their first battle, Ben says, he yells, it's clobbering time, and he clocks Gigantor.
Oh.
And Johnny immediately is like, what did he, turns to Sue, was like, what did he just say? It's clobbering time? And that's where the joke picks up. And that's where he kind of goes and starts, but that's why he's really, it makes a lot more sense
so
why
cute.
Johnny's so
That's
on top
cute.
of that.
That's really cute, though.
That's
great.
Positive.
That's hysterical.
I hope that's a deleted scene or something like that.
You know there are deleted scenes, so many deleted scenes.
Absolutely. I hope that's one of them, though, because I was laughing out loud when I read that in a comic earlier, because I was like, yes.
And can we talk about that moment in the movie where they recreate the very first cover of the Fantastic Four, where they're fighting Gigantor, like, that's a story you're talking about, but that looks beautiful in the movie. Like when I saw that, because I actually own that on the Marvel re-release, because it's one of those things you want to read it, kid, but it's never going to be worth anything. $8. So I had that. I think I still do. So I was so excited, just like I was like Leonardo DiCaprio. I know that.
Yeah, their adventures in that montage are cool. They take down Red Ghost, and that was the John Malkovich scene that was cut.
Which
apparently that was
I want to see. I want to release the Malkovich cut.
That'll be a whole. Imagine he's in a movie for like 2 minutes, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jenny, that's what you're saying, right? Like
probably,
that he was cut from the movie.
Oh no, because again, we were like, my husband was like, that wasn't in the trailer. I was like, oh, it wasn't. Things were, but I was like, the movie felt perfect to me. I was like, but if you cut stuff, just cut stuff sometimes. I don't know, like trim it up. I will. That's the thing, though. The thing. His stuff, I felt like was really cut down, and I love him. But Natasha Lyonne was his love interest. She wasn't Alicia Masters. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Totally fine.
So, but the character she played though was actually I had read in the Easter eggs thing was based on Jack Kirby's wife.
Oh,
that was another Jack Kirby thing that they mixed in. That's why she's not Alicia Masters.
That's cute. Did it need to be in the movie? I don't think so.
Well, it goes into them really wanting to honor Jack Kirby, though.
Sure. We all want to honor him.
Yeah, come on.
I do. I just go because I liked his look. I loved his look. He's beautiful. I would like date him. Of course, I would. He also was like he was so gentle. I don't know. Did he have a plot though? Unlike Michael Chiklis, who had very much had a big plot with his, I have to deal with this. He's happy. He goes back to his neighborhood sometimes to hang out in Brooklyn.
So I will say,
like, did he need more to do?
I don't know, because I think Ben, sure, he's not given like as much. They don't lean on as much as they did in the previous incarnations, where he's like sort of mad at Reed and he wants Reed to fix him and yada yada. Doom plays on that in the past one, but I do think the reason why I'm glad that didn't happen in this film, and it kind of does a little bit, is because they've been a Fantastic Four for 3 or 4 years now. So I kind of feel like he was already past that phase. And the two things that they acknowledge that storyline is when they're in the ship and Reed is explaining to Ben about how they need to go ahead and to get out of there. There's a moment where Reed says, "Trust me." Ben gives him a look.
Oh no!
Quickly, and then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna do it." I think that was a nod to saying, "I trusted you the last time," and the suits, that were there.
Somewhere in space.
But also, they talk about it when Ben is talking Reed down, saying like, because Reed is still feeling so much guilt, so they kind of still address it but differently. And Reed, like that scene where they're talking and Ben is at the point where he's like, stop beating yourself up about that. You know, you couldn't have known. And he's like, no, I should have known. And so Reed's still carrying that guilt with him. But Ben is at a different point where he's like, again, I would imagine he's flushed it out by now, but it does come out a little bit. And this in the relationship with, not Alicia Masters, Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, but he does have moments where he kind of is intrigued by her. But I think when he looks he sees the TV himself on the TV and things like that. That does so I think it's still addressed, but it's not kind of like the focal point of the film like it was in previous incarnations.
No. I think I was like, also like, we're not hiding him. I just go, because the CGI looks good. He's in a suit, I think a motion capture suit for a lot of it.
Yeah.
We were just like, not a lot of the Thing in this movie, but maybe next movie. Yeah. And also he's the actor is a little subtle. Like he is mumblecore, I think, like of an actor. He's in The Bear. He's like low key, very low key. So
well, we have a guest that's going to join us quickly. So we do have 4 after all. He could be Herbie.
Wow.
Maybe he's She-Hulk. I don't know. We'll see. Or he could be Ben Grimm, since he got us dropping in on at this point, because we haven't established that part. Tim, what's up?
No, Tim. No way.
It's clobbering time.
What's up,
guys? What's going on, guys? It's been a long time.
What's going on, Tim? It's been a while.
I had to pop in. I was watching. I was like, you know what? I got to pop in. Dinner was done, and I had to throw in my 2 cents or my 10.
What did you think of it?
Whatever. I wanted more. I agree with Jeannie that I wanted a little more. I mean, to me, this movie was really centered on Sue and Reed and the baby. You know, I kind of think Johnny and Ben took a little bit of a back seat, at least in the end when Johnny was going to sacrifice himself. But yeah, I thought the characters were flushed out very well otherwise. But yeah, I wanted a little more Ben, a little more Johnny.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we were just saying that I just think that it's, I think they still got to those. Like, Jason, do you agree with that? That they still kind of addressed Ben's typical things he's dealing with, but in a different way?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I agree there could have been a bit more of it, but it's also, I didn't want to be sitting there for 3 hours either. So certain things had to be cut. I hope we get more of Ben Grimm in the future. I mean, as you guys said, I'd love to see more of him, but I think like I didn't walk away specifically going like, man, this sucks. I needed more of him. It was like, nah, he would have made a bit more of him would have been fun, would have been good, but I also was okay with what I got.
Okay. Ginny, you had some things to talk about Herbie, because Herbie's another man.
I don't like when you leave a child. We've all had majority of us have babies. When you leave your baby alone with a robot, we all have done that in our past. And they go, and don't worry, we're going to go fight this big monster. You stay here with the little baby robot Herbie. And my husband goes, we love Herbie. I was like, he was useless. The Galactus was coming for the baby. And they're like, I don't know what to do. That was useless, Herbie. How dare you?
That's it. We're going to have to, there would be no disparaging Herbie in this situation. Number one, Ginny. Come on, Reed went over the carriage thing that he was in. It was essentially bulletproof and like everything proof. It just wasn't Galactus proof.
What was Herbie supposed to do? Kill Galactus?
But who should have stayed back and not fought Galactus and watched the baby?
Johnny's a good uncle. He'll stay back. He'll fight.
Wow. So scale back fighting Galactus to watch the baby.
You know what? You're right. You know what you do?
I'm just asking.
A Superman where you take the baby and you have to go through all of the like pits and hold the baby over your head. And then we've all done it. I just go like, you have to do that. You know what I mean?
So Johnny should have taken Franklin and fought Galactus while he was on fire and battled Galactus with Franklin.
Well, what was Ben doing? What was Ben doing? I ask.
Ben, it was clobbering time. He had to go ahead and fight. He did yell and went after him.
Okay, I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate. Why don't you go invisible, hold the baby? Can you make the baby invisible and then you tuck
Who
the
was
baby
going
away?
to push Galactus in and trip him into the black hole?
Why do you have to leave with Herbie in a high rise?
The high rise had the shielding come down. They
Okay, it
know
didn't
Galactus
work
was gonna-
though.
I agree with you, but like, what were the other options? They don't know She-Hulk yet. Who else
This
is
is
in
my
Fantastic
job as like
Four?
a Karen.
They don't know
to be
Peter
like,
Parker yet.
I don't know. Use your skills, everybody.
I'm just saying that's all they had. They were kind of stretched.
No, they didn't. Oh, that's
Reed
all they
was
had.
Reed was stretched thin.
No, he wasn't.
Bum.
Nicely
Oh,
done.
That
it's
was
not-
a
it's not- it's
baby.
not
That was your
stop tonight.
precious
It's too easy.
muffin. Oh my gosh. How dare we?
Jimmy,
I'm sorry.
I'm just
You're right.
saying.
I just like looked. I was like, oh, poor Herbie. I was like, what's Herbie gonna do? And he did nothing.
He was trying to soothe the child.
And he was good. And he also knew with the book the baby liked, which is good.
Yeah, see?
I have a Roomba. I know how this works. You
Are
know.
you comparing Herbie to your Roomba?
Yeah, it cleans my house.
This is madness. Jason, help me out here.
Jason, how's your Roomba?
I don't know,
What is going on here?
Taking care of your children. Good.
I once had some thieves trying to break into my apartment, and I just turned the Roomba on them. I'm like, take care of this Roomba. And it vacuums.
Roomba, go Roomba.
Jason, Tim, am
That's
I
what I got.
wrong
So you get
here?
mad
Am I being like, what is going on? Are we really shitting on Herbie? I mean, he's no R2D2, but come on.
Listen, as a personal close friend of Herbie, I'd have to defend him at all costs.
There we go. There it is.
It's gross. No.
I met
You
him.
met
He's,
Herbie.
he's a nice guy.
Why were you there, Tim?
That's where I
Why
work.
would
I work at Disney.
What?
I meet I meet anyone that goes on The View, Kelly and Mark, ESPN, and GMA. If they go on those shows, I get them all in my elevator. I'm the one who brings them up and down to all the shows. So last week I had all four of them in the elevator at the same time, and I'm trying to get a pick. This is actually a good story for this. First I had Johnny and
Yeah,
Ben.
this is what I want, Tim. This
No,
is the content.
I had they weren't too nice. Honestly, they weren't. Johnny was the least nice out of all of them. The
Checks
first
out.
Pedro Pascal comes in, so right away the girlfriend's like, "You better get a fucking picture of Pedro Pascal." And I was all right, so I did the old bootleg Tim, and I got a quick picture of him. But he was nice. But I know he has anxiety problems, so I wasn't going to bug him.
Yeah.
Sue comes in next, looking ravishing is the only word that you can possibly say. She got that pregnant glow. She looks
Yeah.
ridiculous in this long blue dress. They all changed their clothes, by the way, because they filmed like 3 different shows. And then I didn't see Ben or Johnny until they left. And when they left, they were a little standoffish. But I said the best part was, I'd say it's a good story. Pedro Pascal said thank you. I talked to him. He was nice. The girl said nice, very nice. Fucking door opens up and there's Herbie. And I went, and I literally went, holy shit, like that. And everyone looked at me. I went, I'm sorry. I didn't want to curse. I said, well, this is the coolest thing ever. So here comes the guy. Here comes the guy controlling
Do it,
him.
Cass. Get out of here.
Yeah, like the guy controlling him was like, laughing. And he makes Herbie come in. I'm like, this is like the coolest thing because there's no CGI. It's all the guy with the thing. And I'm like, this is the fucking coolest thing ever. I said it again. And he goes, oh, he wants to fist bump you. I said, all right. And I put my hand out and he fist bumped me like he did in the movie. I said, this is fucking awesome. I said, can I take a picture? They're like, yeah, yeah. So I decided on the selfie. And if you look at my selfie, he actually has his hand up in the air. But you can kind of see the block on my shoulder. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
Awesome.
It was
That's
awesome.
amazing. Damn, Tim.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Tim,
very
back me up.
I am
on
very
this
lucky.
back me up on this protection of Herbie. I mean,
Well, you know what?
Also agree.
Well, you know what it is? Either you leave him alone or you leave him with Herbie. There's no other option.
One of the
Herbie is your
members
best
of the
There's
team.
so many options. I have superpowers. What am I going to do?
But then again, you know what? The way I see it too is if you really break it down, it's Galactus. The only two that could. I don't even think Ben could do anything to Galactus. He probably could have tucked the baby like a football and just ran, because like he doesn't have like the cosmic power thing going on like the rest of them do. He has to get up close and start punching. So maybe Ben could have been a good babysitter. But no, I'm gonna defend Herbie at all costs. I mean,
Reed almost got snapped in half like a rubber band by Galactus. I mean, you needed Sue to basically push him towards the black hole, which still ultimately she sacrificed her life and died, and it wasn't going to be enough. Ben tried to do whatever he could. I mean, we got his clobbering time, and he, threw himself into him. And then Johnny obviously is doing his thing. I mean, but Herbie, listen, he think put Herbie with the child in the Baxter building with like shields and stuff.
I agree.
I think the grim, unintended reality is that Reed Richards had realized that, you know what? If Galactus gets through us, it doesn't fucking matter who's watching the kid.
Yes.
Like it could be Herbie, it could be fucking Ben. It doesn't matter. If Galactus gets through us, he's already got the kid. There's another way to do it.
Thor could have been watching that kid and would have had a major problem.
Who could have been watching the kid?
Thor. Thor could have been like Thor.
Oh, Thor. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Alex, that's
nobody
not possible. They all have armed guards. It's ridiculous the security in my building. It doesn't make any sense. But no, there was no chance of me getting out of there with Herbie. None.
But like, what if you just pretended to be a puppeteer or something?
No, these nerds got that shit on lockdown. Dude, they treat our guests like former presidents. I'm like, does Pedro Pascal need an armed fucking security? No, but
you don't want to get sued.
Even outside the building, I get it because we had 300 Fantastic Four fans outside the building. I get it. In my elevator with just me, like, I'm not gonna do nothing. I swear to God, I'm a fan. You don't need to have an armed guard in there with me. I'm not gonna. I promise I won't touch anybody.
That's not Herbie. Pedro can stay out there. I just want this thing.
Herbie. It was crazy, but no, Alex, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell.
All right, so I guess more or less, I mean, they have their final battle. We see, that whole, again, we have our suspicions with Galactus and what's going to happen with him and Silver Surfer, where we think we'll see them again. We suspect we'll see them again. And then that kind of takes us to, I guess, let's talk about the other thing in this movie, Jason. In the mid-credits scene, where, Franklin is in the movie, but like character-wise, it's not like he had like a bunch of lines and stuff like that.
He's a beautiful little baby.
Exactly. He saves Sue and resurrects her and stuff like that. But Franklin in the mid-credits scene, it's a 4-year jump, and we see that Franklin's a bit older, and he's choosing his books, his favorite book and everything, and Sue is with him. She steps away for a second. And then we see that Franklin makes a new friend. And it is Dr. Doom, who appears to be going after Franklin now. Jason, this is your moment. 204 episodes in. Dr. Doom in the MCU, even though we don't actually see Robert Downey Jr., but it's obviously Dr. Doom.
Oh, it's clearly Dr. Doom. He's got the mask off.
Oh, yes.
With the camera. It's clearly him. I want to see where this goes. It's not enough. I want more. Because here's the thing, I have trepidations about their plan for Dr. Doom. So I wanted to see more, but I didn't get more. But I did love seeing him there. Here's my prediction. We all think he's there for Franklin. He's not there for Franklin. I think he's there to help the Fantastic Four. And eventually the plan is to steal Franklin's powers because that's what he does. But goddamn, that better be it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Does the fact that he is going to be Robert Downey Jr. matter at all? It will.
That's my trepidation.
People are going to see him and go, like Anthony Mackie's going to be like, you're Tony Stark. Like, right? We're going to.
They've been pretty adamant, especially the Russo brothers have been extremely adamant as if there's going to be a huge reason why it's Robert Downey, he looks like Tony Stark.
It's all the universe and Robert.
Yes, so which is where it's fine. My big moment that I'm waiting for is when Peter Parker sees him. That's going to be, I'm calling it right
Yeah.
now, that's going to be an extremely gut-wrenching moment when Peter sees him.
So no accent, no foreign country.
I don't know. No, the foreign country for sure. It's teased in this movie. In the first,
That's
what,
true. Yeah. But I
15
go
minutes?
Stark. That Stark is a Latvian surname.
No, I mean, I'm sure they can get to it, but I mean, Latveria, their whole, and that whole, what was it, the World Council thing that they're showing there? Like, Latveria is empty. They show that specifically
I
in
know.
their house.
I know. But this is a different universe. I don't know why.
We Are the World montage.
Why does he have to look like Tony Stark?
And again, we have to wait about a year and a half for that, but they say they have their reasons for it. So I mean, I think we wait and see on that one.
My audience screamed. They were freaking out. Oh my god!
There was no way in hell that we were not getting Doctor Doom in some form or fashion.
People were
in this
like,
film.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to tease it, and I think it didn't overshadow the movie at all. And I think just alluding to the Doctor Doom was a good way to do it. Not showing him, his face, not seeing Robert Downey Jr. wanting to save that for Avengers Doomsday. I think that was probably also the smart move there. But yeah, I remember both times I saw it, people lost their shit, and you heard gasps and screams and whatnot and everything like that. Also, yeah, I do also wonder if he was going after Franklin. But so, Jason, you think he's there to help the Fantastic Four?
I think there's something going on, and maybe it's related to Galactus, right? Or maybe it's related to whatever the reason that they cross their into 616. But I think it's one of those things where he's come to talk and he's like playing with the baby and it looks bad, but it's like, actually I'm here because I know you guys are trying to look for this or do this and I can help you. But I think it's gonna be one of those classic Doom situations where he's just looking to steal someone's power.
Do you think maybe he's trying to get Franklin for Galactus?
Yes, I think that might be it. I think instead of having him try to steal from Galactus, they're going to pivot to him trying to steal Franklin's power.
Nice. Interesting. Tim, your thoughts?
You know what? I can't figure shit out anymore. Because even this movie went to places that I didn't expect. At first, I was a little like, that's what they're doing. Like when Reed said we're moving the entire planet, I was like, that's kind of dumb. But then I sat back and went, oh, no, wait a minute, that's 1960s comic book shit right there. We're gonna move the entire planet.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, that's actually all right. That's actually pretty cool. Then at first I was like, oh, really? We're doing that? Then I was like, no, wait a minute. This is what they would do in this 1960 comic. So I kind of accepted and moved on with it. I don't know what. Like now, where's the ending of the Thunderbolts? How does that fit in?
It's funny you mention that.
You know what I mean? Where is that now on the timeline? When does that take place? I thought we'd at least get a shot. See, I thought maybe other people thought too. I thought Galactus was going to win. I thought the Fantastic Four.
Jenny, that was our theory.
Was it? Okay, like super. Yeah.
Prior to seeing the movie, we thought.
Gotcha.
I
thought he was going to win, and Fantastic Four was going to flee and let him have the Earth and that universe. Yeah, exactly.
We were in a dark minds.
Yeah.
Going into the
I mean, not on purpose, but they had no choice. The universe started its collapse. The only they had to get out of there. Galactus is eating the Earth. He's like, well, I'm not giving you my baby. So here's the other thing we're going to do, and they're going to get the hell out of there. And then maybe Doom is the Doom from their universe, ends up following them. That's what I kind of thought. That's why he looks like Tony Stark, because he's not from the 616 or whatever.
Well, Jenny, think kind of like Thor Ragnarok, where Asgard.
Yeah.
Hela technically wins, takes down Asgard. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. Too.
Yeah. Oh my god! But like, imagine that movie where it's like positive and like, thank you, Fantastic Four. It's all this wholesome like 60s New York. I don't know, and Superman. I don't know. Played a little.
Oh, just like Peter has to live with all the shit that goes on in his life, Reed would be doomed to live with that for the rest of his life. He couldn't save his universe.
Yeah.
Well, Reed is also planet. Yeah, Reed's also dealing with, like we were saying, his whole thing with what happened to his friends. Like
Of
he still
course.
blames himself for that constantly.
And had to almost sacrifice his son. Like,
Yes, exactly. Which and we went over, he calculated it, and it was on the table.
That's the coping way, is to be clinical about it and be
Yeah.
practical.
So, Alex, yeah, you got a comment. I'm confused before for your time jump and post credit scene, because the Thunderbolts credit scene are 3 scenes in Doomsday film, or trying to tease it more. Got really confused. I think it's basically the Russo brothers directed these both scenes, but I don't think they're not going to actually be in Avengers Doomsday now. Because I know they said that the post credit scene of Thunderbolts.
No
was
one's
an
in
actual
Doomsday?
scene.
No, none of the Fantastic Fours are in
Well, no,
Doomsday?
they're all in it. What I'm saying is the post credit scene for Thunderbolts originally was directed by the Russo brothers and was a scene that was a part of Avengers Doomsday.
That's
But
crazy.
They used it as a post credit scene for Thunderbolts.
How much of Doomsday is done?
I'm not yet. They're not done.
No, but how
yet.
they filmed? They were filming it. We're just like,
Well, I'm just
process?
obviously they pivoted to that, and the Russo brothers directed that scene in the mid credit scene of Fantastic Four
oh,
with Doctor Doom.
so weird.
They're not, but that was never said to be a scene
sure.
ripped from Doomsday. They just directed that scene. So I think it was also my
Oh, they
guess
haven't
is that
figured it out yet. Got
the
it.
Fantastic Four ship, was it Excelsior, that we see in Thunderbolts, was them using the space bridge that Reed references in this movie to go to the MCU. But the question is, why are they going to the MCU? And that's where I think it might have something to do with that they sent Galactus to the MCU, and they feel like they're obligated to stop him or help stop him. Am I
Okay.
the only one who's on board with
It'll
this?
be like the opening scene, I'm sure, where for
No, I'm
Doomsday,
on board with that.
where it's like the Fantastic Four, like we've figured it, we've not, because when's the next Marvel movie again?
It's Spider-Man, and that's next July.
July. Next, when's Doomsday?
So Doomsday is next December.
December.
Yes,
Next December.
next December.
And we film
2026.
stuff?
Well, they're filming it now.
We've been filming it though.
I'm sure. it's
We
something-
haven't been, but they've been
I
filming
mean, we
it.
could have been.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be as good as but we could.
No, it might not be. I'm just saying, I'm not the Russo brothers.
I want
You
Disney.
can try.
Where's the money? Where's the money going? I asked. What's everyone doing? DC movies?
All over. Jason got exactly what he wants. He said he didn't want to see him as a star, and just got a post-credit scene. Jason's. I didn't see Jason's face when it happened, but I felt like I felt Jason, his gasp in the air. Jason, was there a gasp when you saw Doctor Doom?
I was expecting to see him, but it was nice to see him.
Jason, I don't want to be mean to you, but what if the movie's not coming out till next December? Next December, guys. What if he's not in the movie?
If Doctor Doom is not an Avengers Doomsday,
What if you don't have what if it's not Robert Downey Jr.? I don't know.
I mean, they kind of announced this already.
Yeah,
So
they lie though.
it would be the most insane
How about
thing.
Jonathan Majors?
It would be the most insane thing that I've seen in a film.
And you
Since I
trust
saw
me?
28 Days Later and I didn't see a zombie in it. That would be the craziest thing since then.
This
That's
movie
what it
should
would
have
be.
been done by now. It should be ready by February.
Alex, by the way, is dropping a lot. I hope Doctor Doom doesn't use Tony Stark's image to manipulate. Obviously, he's definitely going to.
Oh, is that true? But you think that?
I think he's going to do it.
I did not see this theory. I like
He
this
knows
theory.
the heroes will trust him if he looks like Iron Man, but it seems like a soap opera move. No, I think you absolutely have to do it because he's
I
coming
think
from an
Disney would
alternate
do
universe.
that. I think Disney would do that. I think Marvel would do that.
I think Marvel Comics would do that. I'm sure they've done such.
you can get tired of it.
No, I don't think it's going to be throughout the entire movie, but I think it's going to play a part in Avengers.
Oh, so then who's Doom? Well, if he's masked Doom, he's like, I'm Doom, but then he takes it off and it's Robert Downey Jr., right?
Yeah, there will be a moment when he gets revealed. That's what I'm guessing.
Will he have an
That's how-
accent? Will he have an accent?
I don't know. Jason, what do you think? What,
Can Robert Downey
we don't
Jr.
know what the Latvian accent could be.
But he's not, and then it'll be like,
Cultural appropriation. He's Romani.
yes.
Okay.
Latvian people are Romani, so
Sure.
I think it would be cultural appropriation.
Well, it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
doing it, Jason. So unfortunately,
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil
I mean,
it.
look,
I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but I know exactly his first appearance is going to be. It's going to be in Spider-Man 4, and Spider-Man's going to be swinging to help someone, and Doom is going to be standing on a roof just like this. And that's it. Eddie gets it. I know Eddie gets it right away. Eddie gets it right away.
I knew exactly where you were going as soon as you started. As soon as you said he was in Spider-Man 4, I'm like, here we go. So, Jenny, I don't know if you're aware of this, but yeah, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, the cartoon from the 80s.
Yeah.
There's a scene, and you can look this up on Disney Plus because it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
Iceman, Firestar. It's very
and Spider-Man.
I watched that on the block of.
So they are racing through Manhattan, and they decide to race for some unknown reason, and they happen to be racing, and they happen to swing by Dr. Doom on a roof and do an experiment.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. Just like, yeah, this is what I do. And they walk past Dr. Doom.
Did you see a broom?
On a roof, on top of a roof.
If they do that, Tim, I'm going to tell you right now, I might just screech out in the theater or something like that. You'll hear it from another theater, even in New Jersey or wherever it is. I would lose my mind.
That'd be hysterical because it's even you watch it today and you still laugh no matter what.
It's one of the most ridiculous things ever.
Why is a Latvian bad guy just on the roof randomly in New York City just hanging out, feeding pigeons or whatever the hell he was doing?
As far as this goes with I don't know if we're going to get an official trailer.
Spider-Man 4 is next July.
July.
It's coming out in December. They will.
Maybe a teaser trailer.
Hey, the Odyssey already has a trailer out.
Yeah, exactly. It should be done by now.
Tim, they sold tickets.
I know.
The Odyssey a year in advance and sold out.
I went on a rant about that.
That's crazy.
That's just me.
What if you pass away in the next year? What are you gonna do? You
just get a refund.
Can I get a refund? Can my family?
Next of kin gets the tickets.
Goes to see Odyssey.
Yes,
Great.
exactly.
I'm gonna go see the Odyssey.
She
Dad
was
would have wanted it this way.
There ain't a movie ever that can make me buy tickets a year in advance, and care that much. Nothing.
Well, no, Tim, I'll tell you right now. If I got an email right now that says Avengers Doomsday tickets are on sale, I might buy them.
But you don't know. But yeah, you don't know what's going to happen in a year. Well, that's the theater could burn down.
I have tickets.
Angie can go. That's all. I have a Regal Unlimited. What are you going to do?
That's the first thing. I bequeath my Doomsday tickets to you.
That's it. I'll put it in my will or something like that. You can log into my account. I'll leave it to you guys too. I'll buy out the whole theater and just leave it to you guys. That's all. No, they can't start doing this a year in advance. That's just gonna be so obnoxious.
Just give me the money. Give me the $20.
Yeah, just stop. It's ridiculousness. But the post-credit scene, I actually thought it's not obviously like edge of your seat stuff, but I thought it was fun that they showed the cartoon that they referenced in the movie of the Fantastic Four. I thought it was cool.
It was cute.
Yeah,
it showed you what bastards they are, because you should have flip-flopped it.
Yes,
the cartoon should have been first, and Doom should have been last to make it worth waiting for the 15-minute credits.
God. Tim, you fixed a lot of the.
But that's how Marvel is. Like, we're gonna make you stay for the fucking the worst of the two.
But
not that it was bad.
No, but how cute would that have been if you just the cartoon first? Because they kind of did it anyway, a little bit with a little. It's retro anyway, so but just start with a little cute cartoon. 90s movies used to do that back in the day. You do the little cute cartoon first, and then go into
there are people I've seen people who still leave. So imagine those people who left miss Doom. Because you figure after the first one's Doom, the second credit cannot be anywhere near as good. So I saw people walking out, and even my girlfriend was like, "We stayed for that fucking cartoon." I was like, I thought it was funny. But
was that your girlfriend? Because I did say that to my husband. I stayed for this.
Yeah,
guys, what are we doing here?
Flip-flop them. That's all.
What are we? 34, 35 movies into the MCU. I think you go to an MCU movie, you plan to stay till the end credits. It's just.
But I'm just saying flip-flop them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
That should have happened. Yes,
yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. But I think when I go see any comic book movie, it's always I'm gonna wait till the end credits. Even other movies, I even will start googling it.
Or any movie for that matter. Now
yeah, because there are a lot of
every movie has a credit scene, even if it's dumb. There's always something that has one.
Harold and the Purple Crown, no, but maybe some Disney movies.
Yeah, I usually do Google it though to try to see
Yeah,
what's
I
up.
do
But,
too.
but when I see people leaving a Marvel movie right after the credits, once the credits start rolling, I'm like, I would think to myself, how much of the MCU have you missed at this point that you're not even aware happened? Like you went to see Iron Man and didn't see Nick Fury. What kind of insanity is that?
And most of them are good that pay off. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, they have a good track record, but yes, I don't know how you could do that.
How did the first Iron Man though? That wasn't that long of a post-credit scene, right?
Well, no, there was the post-credit scene was Nick Fury coming and saying about
It was
the
a little bit of
Avengers.
credits, and we're all like kind of maybe getting up to go, and then like boom.
No, it was the end. It was the end.
Was
of
it?
Yeah.
I don't wait.
No,
I
it
don't
was
know.
the end.
I don't
Was that-
remember.
Tim, we saw Iron Man together, right?
Yeah, and
So
they
I
made,
remember like
they,
it was
they
like,
made
oh,
a point. Yeah, they made a point of saying don't leave your seat.
I'm okay.
Like,
Maybe
really?
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point we're like, why?
Yeah,
And then we saw that, and you see Nick Fury and talks about the Avengers Initiative, and people just completely lost their shit.
and the fact that it was Samuel. Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, exactly.
Samuel as Nick Fury talking about the Avengers.
I think about the 2008 Iron Man movie like once a week. I feel.
And don't forget, a couple of months later, the Incredible Hulk came out, and then Tony Stark showed up at the end of that one.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that as well. So yeah, they
Just so
I don't
happens to be sitting right here. I don't know why.
nice. So, all right. So anything else on? Well, no, actually, Ginny, we can end with your question, which I think is probably which. You don't have to choose, but which is the better? Tim, what the hell was that? What did you think, Superman or Fantastic Four First Steps?
Right now.
You posed the question.
I did because
Yeah.
I think it's it's like a movie question more though
Yeah.
than like what do you like more? Like, we all like, I'm not sometimes I have bad thoughts about The Dark Knight where I think it's a bit of a boring movie. Sometimes I get into bar fights. If I want to start a good bar fight, I just kind of go up to guys and I say, I don't think The Dark Knight was that great of a movie. Like, it was a boring movie and it's not that great of a film. And then, if I want to start a fight with my husband, I'll definitely do that. That's my good bar fight. What do you look at your reaction? Fight with the guy. All right. I know where it is. Gonna hit him. I think it's a little ugly movie. And then they'll be like, it's brilliant. And The Prestige is better. But I think The Fantastic Four is kind of a better movie. With the cut they cut, it's a clean movie. Reed and Stewart, like kind of the focus points, which is solid. Just give me 2 leads. The aesthetic is gorgeous. It's funny. The fight scenes, his Reed's stretchiness, not that great for me, but I go, it's more tension in a good way. Like, even when they fly to space, I'm like, I'm invested. It's not cheesy. We're in a weird universe. It's all kind of works out nicely, and everyone's taking it seriously. So I do think it's a little cleaner, just efficient and fun, like a little bit just more pleasing than Superman. And I love Superman.
So it's like 1 and 1A.
Yeah, you just gotta.
All right, and I guess before we move around though, but one other question for you: do you, without fully getting into rankings of it, do you feel like Fantastic Four First Steps would you call it top tier Marvel, or should we come back to you for that one?
Is Iron Man 2008 top tier?
For you, is it?
It is.
Okay. So, but I'm saying, would you think this is like?
I do, and I love Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
you have to know that.
No, genuinely, you love the Fantastic Four.
I do.
But you feel like Marvel knocked it out of the park.
Black Panther 2 Namor to get involved in this universe. I want to bring him in right now.
Oh boy, here we go.
I love Namor. I do. Yeah, and we don't.
No, I know where you're going with it.
No,
I know exactly where you're going with it.
I think so. Especially in this new cycle, right? Or new
all time.
What do we call it? Of all time?
MCU.
Yes,
in the MCU, is this top tier? Like, would you think this is like top 10?
How many has there been? 37?
30? Is it 37?
It's like rewatchability. It's like,
yeah.
Do I want to rewatch certain movies? Yeah. It's better than Thor, though, to me. It's better than like Yeah, I think I have to say that. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's different. It's different looking. It's not like a CGI game sometimes, which isn't bad, but some of them look like that. Yeah, yeah. The emotional relationships. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Jason,
especially in the new cycle or whatever that is.
Jason, what do you think? Superman or Fantastic Four First Steps?
It's a tough call, but I think Fantastic Four First Step ekes it out for me because I was really excited about this. I think it really stuck the landing. Like it was not disappointing. I mean, I like Superman. I've become a Superman fan over the course of doing the show with you, and I really did like that movie. But we just covered a Superman thing that I really enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? I have not seen a Fantastic Four movie that I really love ever, and so that's why this kind of ekes it out for me, just because of scarcity. Like this is now the Fantastic Four. Whether you're a psychopath like me who loves the Roger Corman one, or you're a psychopath like Jenny who loves the other ones. Like this I think is the definitive one. So I would have to give it to FF.
Okay. Tim, you saw both in the last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I need to see them again.
Okay.
Especially
off the top of your head, even though you are the Kryptonian sympathizer.
No, I'd go Fantastic Four right off the top of my head, definitely. Okay. I need to see them both again to kind of get my final judgment. In Superman, I made the mistake. Jax wanted the 4DX 3D. Now 4DX for Twisters, fantastic.
What did you see in 4DX? You saw Twisters?
Superman.
Oh, that was a bad choice, right?
It was a horrible choice because let me tell you something. Like Twisters was great. A lot of movies are great for that. Superman is not great. I got the shit beat out of me by these seats.
My sister was like, "You're the back of your head."
I got the shit beat out, and it distracted me. This was the first time I got distracted by the 40. Because when everything was calm, I was like, "Thank God it's calm," because I'm getting the hell beat out of me. The only good thing about the 4DX was when he was flying in the snow. Yeah. You got ice cold air and water, so it felt like you were really flying in the snow. Other than that, I got the shit beat out of me for 2 hours. I actually felt like Superman. I'm getting beat up every fucking 5 minutes by this study. Every time he got beat up, I was like, dude, Cal, I feel you, bro. I'm beat up. I can't do this anymore. I was like, I put it on the Murtaugh list. I'm too old for this shit. Not that I can do that 40X anymore. But
you did Jurassic World, which I did by myself in 40X. I wanted to feel something. I just want to go in water and see dinosaurs yell at me. And it was perfect. It was a perfect.
There's certain movies that I'll never do a Superman movie ever again. That's for damn sure.
Okay.
But my kid wanted to see it, so we saw it. But I got to see Superman again to kind of relax and digest the entire movie. So I can't really give my full judgment. I mean, I did like Fantastic Four better, but I can't even give my exact judgment on Superman yet, which is why I kind of stayed away from the show while you guys are talking about it, because I don't know what I feel yet. All I felt was me getting beat up by everything that he got beat up by. I was like, please God, make it stop. Please God, make it stop.
You lost a tooth. You had a black eye.
Oh, I was at the end of the movie. I was going, Crypto, come get me.
You say you're gonna whistle and
I was like, please bring me home.
Drag me out of here.
Because it was pretty bad. But Fantastic Four, I mean, even that I want to see again to kind of digest one more time. But I really loved it. I love the visual of it. I like the way. I think the characters need to be a little more. What's the word I'm looking for? Flushed out, I guess. But we know those characters, so it doesn't. I need to be too bad. But yeah, like I said, I needed more Ben. I needed more Johnny. But I get why they focus on who they did for this movie. So, and Galactus was, fucking awesome.
Tim, did you see this in regular format or IMAX?
That's why I only saw in regular so far. I'm gonna go back and see it again in something bigger or something better for the second time.
So I don't know if you were listening at that point. Like Jason and I got to see it in IMAX the first time. Jason, I think you'd agree. Well, you didn't see it in the regular format, I thought, Jason, but
I did.
Galactus in IMAX it makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can go check that out.
If you can see it in IMAX, I would highly recommend seeing Fantastic Four in IMAX. specifically for Galactus, because when the footsteps and the eyes open and all of that, the thumping, you want the theater like rattling when that happens.
Cool.
So Tim, would you say this is top tier MCU?
I have to see it again, like I said, but it's definitely smack in the middle. 37 films, it's probably going to be top 20.
Okay.
Might be higher, might be lower. I got to watch it one more time, sit down and digest and let it soak in.
Okay. I loved Superman. It's clearly my favorite Superman movie, and it's one of my favorite DC movies of all time. Like, I really, really had a phenomenal time with Superman. As I did with Fantastic Four. I think it's really close. Like, they both were so much fun. I think they're both comic books brought to life. Like, just happy, good feeling comic books, like, just brought to life. And Jenny, it's funny, you mentioned when you saw what we were thinking going into the movie and how dark we were thinking the movie was going to kind of end. It's like, man, I'm actually glad it didn't end like that.
No, because and Superman in this
Yeah.
movie, I'm like, let's be positive. Let's just be.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I will say, I think, Jenny, I'm with you on this. I'm going to edge Fantastic Four. I think first steps, I'm going to give the edge barely over Superman, but I think they're damn close, man. But I think the important thing is this is the best. I love Thunderbolts also, but this and
Love Thunderbolts.
Deadpool and Wolverine was an MCU movie that was just a year ago. But this as a movie is one of the best more MCU movies we've gotten in a while. And as much as I love those, I would say that I think Fantastic Four was better overall. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thunderbolts did a lot of things. I think Fantastic Four is the better movie.
A complete movie. A complete. Very complete.
Yep.
And I think it is top tier MCU. I think this is them somewhat, and I think Thunderbolts got them in the direction of return to form again for even, for some. This is it. This is like peak Marvel, I think, in a lot of ways. So this is a great feeling with that. And they're having a good year. Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Daredevil, Born Again, like they're firing on cylinders now.
And this movie is so special because, again, besides Doom at the end, it is just new. Like, we're just like new everybody. Like, we don't need. It's a new universe in a way. It's like
no homework required.
Have knowledge of other Marvel stuff. Let's just cool universe, good family.
Yeah. It's Jason. I was thinking this too. Like, it's kind of like one of those jumping points for comics. Like some people don't want to read certain comics because they're like, oh, I haven't read the last 30 issues. But Fantastic Four First Steps is a way you can jump in and be like, all right, if this is the first MCU movie I've ever seen, boom, here it is. You don't need to know anything else. If you want to know more,
right?
Go back.
And if they want the franchise to continue going, then that's what they have to do, because that's what comics do.
Yeah, it's true.
Carolyn's like that. She hasn't seen all the Marvel movies. I said, well, you don't have to see all of them to watch this. This is like a brand new jumping off point, so you'll enjoy it. And she did. She loved it.
Nice. Yeah, I thought it was a blast, man. Absolute blast. All right, so I think that kind of wraps it up for us this week. Thanks for joining us as always. Tim, thanks for popping on with us. Jenny, as always, thanks for joining us. You've done 2 episodes in a row with us now. Look at you.
I'll come back for more. I'll watch the Superman show by myself. I'll watch Tyler Hoechlin.
Jump on there.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us as always. If you're joining us on the Facebook live stream, check out Granny's Peach Tea's Facebook group where we share trailers and memes and all other stuff that are on there. It's a lot of fun. Check out Pop Culture Pros and popculturepros.com because that's who we are presented by. And wherever you found your audio-only podcast, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. Jason and I will be back either next week or very shortly. We have to cover season 2 of The Sandman, which is the final and second season of that on Netflix. But all the episodes are out, so we'll talk about that as a whole. And Jason, we've got some stuff. I think we're going to jump into Alien and Predator franchises soon. We were talking about it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're taking a bit of liberties with our formatting and considering both the Alien and the Predators have been in the comic book. 2 Predators lost to Batman.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm reading a Predator
you know,
versus
there
Spider-Man
you
comic, so
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I love him.
so we're
I
gonna
love
start delving
him.
into the Aliens, Predator, Alien versus Predator, Predator versus Alien, how to catch a Predator, how to catch an Alien. It'll be wonderful.
It will be. It will
How to,
be.
how to catch an alien how to catch a predator would be fantastic.
How to
Going
catch
to
an
the
alien with a Predator.
Let's do a secret.
Have a predator in the kitchen and Chris Hansen comes out. Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat, Mr. Predator?
I brought these Zima because I thought there was an alien here, not a 10-year-old child.
I thought you said alien, not Ellen. I'm sorry. I got to get out of here.
I haven't read that comic. We'll have to read that, guys, right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll catch up on that one. All right, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.